This week's been a little bit slow. It's been my day and a half off between 5 on and then 2 on. So not a lot's gone on, pretty much just did small projects at home. But I thought for this vlog we'd do a quick show and tell. It was just some cool stuff that I've picked up on Amazon, some RV stuff, just cool little gadgets. There's stuff from a great channel called EXCESSORIZE Me that I'll link down below. Definitely check him out. He's got some really cool little fidget gizmos and just cool stuff that he's found along the way. So, first thing I want to show you is something called SensorPush. And it's already installed in the RV, so I'm going to turn this around and show you where it's installed, and then I'll kind of show you the interface and what it's about. So in my side cabinet here that you've seen before, a little charging station, behind this Xbox controller is the SensorPush gateway, which isn't much to look at, but it links up temperature and barometric sensors to the Wi-Fi in the rig. So there's a little antenna. So this is kind of the Wi-Fi gateway hookup for the sensors. And what that does, put this back. What that does is there are 2 sensors. One's outside, I'll show you a clip of that here. And then one is right here in the kitchen under that first light. It records barometric and temperature readings as well as changes. It'll even graph them. So what happens is you can see here on the screen that I've got recordings, and I can access these remotely. With the new hotspot in the rig, that means that there's always internet here regardless of me taking my phone with me. So then all I have to do is pull this up remotely and make sure everything's okay. It also sends push notifications, so I can set a temperature alarm if anything drops below a certain amount. So that would be a great way to keep track of pets, especially. So if you had a power outage, your furnace fails, something like that, and pipes, pets, whatever, getting too warm, too cold, whatever the case may be, you get a SensorPush notification, which is pretty cool. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's worked pretty well. I've had the little, and I'll put a link for this too, I've had this for a long time for the RV. There's 3 sensors. So I've got 3 temperature sensors outside, and this is the unit itself does the inside temperature here. So one is up by the batteries near the tail of the RV. This is in the outside compartment, so I get kind of a reading of the non-air conditioned, non-heated spaces, but that's kind of like ambient heated. And then this is probably the most accurate. This is under the rig. It's actually attached to the black water drain pipe, and that gives me the best temperature under the rig, where the pipes are, where the sun doesn't influence the temperature. So that's what I've been using, but then with this extra thing now, I've got a temperature sensor outside with that one actually, but it's a SensorPush sensor attached to the black pipe. So now I get push notifications and can access remotely what my sensors are doing. So I'll link this with the other items and you can check that out. Please know that I am an Amazon affiliate, so you kind of support the channel a little bit by using the links I provide. Would help me out. It doesn't cost anything extra to you, but it does give a little bit kickback from Amazon. So if you feel like it, use the links. If not, search it on Amazon. Okay, first on the list is the CRKT Provoke First Responder Edition. This is a somewhat pricey little knife, but the build quality and just the sheer fun of use is awesome. It was worth it to me. I think this was a pickup from the EXCESSORIZE Me channel, so definitely recommend checking him out. He's got a bunch of other really cool fidget gadget stuff. But anyway, this is the Provoke. It is a foldable knife in kind of a raptor talon shape with these really cool engineered, it even says who the engineer was on their website. I'll put a link down to that below. Again, you can get this on Amazon. The cool thing about this, you can hold it in the hand and it just folds out like so. Little lever here to collapse, bring it back in. So even like for running, like I would just be doing this the whole time. It clips back into place magnetically, has a nice hold, and that really satisfying little click back into place. You can even just kind of shove it out while you're running and you're ready to go. Attacker hits you, here you go. Just throw it out. It's kind of difficult to get it to collapse with one hand, but you can do it. You can hold it in the other hand, although I don't as much like having this blade, which is super sharp. I don't as much like having that super close to my palm there. It's better in the right hand, I think. You can also, of course, hold it this way, right? And in that configuration, you would be holding it here, push it out, and you're ready to go. Really cool little knife. Again, the designer is on their website. Caswell Knives, I think. Yeah. CRKT's quality company, make a lot of great knives for quite a while now, and make a great product. This is super, super cool. Comes with a bunch of little attachment stuff. There's like a holster, a lot of different mounting options for that. You can see there, I haven't really played with that. You mostly just hold the knife or put it in a pocket, but yeah, you could do it that way if you wanted to. So good little accessories there for that. To the best of my knowledge, the only thing that makes it a first responder edition is the little point right up here, which is actually a ceramic glass breaker. So it's used to punch a windshield, hence the first responder, to shatter things. So this little rounded point, that's what that's used for. And I think that's the only thing that makes it a first responder edition. And maybe some of the holster stuff going on. Another item from CRKT, which is the Columbia River Knife and Tool Store, is the Techliner Everyday Carry Pin. It's a short little pin compared to others. Aluminum body, nice and grippy up here at the top. Magnetic cap. Isn't that cool? It's got a little hole in there for the point. And you just flip it around and put it there. It uses a pressurized pin refill, which means that you could write upside down like the astronaut pin. Thanks, Jerry Seinfeld.
What kind of pen is that?
This pen?
Yeah.
Oh, this is an astronaut pen. It writes upside down. They use this in space.
Oh, wow, that's the astronaut pen. I heard about that. Where did you get it?
Oh, it was a gift.
Very cool. Clip is good quality. Put it on your pants, in a pocket, whatever. And doing this is just amazingly satisfying. At work, I just end up doing this all day, which probably gets kind of annoying for other people. It also has another magnet on the ends, which means that on a magnetic surface, you can stick it standing straight up, so like so, which is kind of interesting. You can kind of adhere it to something, whether it be a metal desk or whatever it be. Kind of fun little implement there. Next up, I've got the Orbitkey Nest. This is the gray version. I think this is useful for travel. It's helpful for setting up a little container of cords and knickknacks and stuff that you don't want to misplace. The little rubber band here opens up. This is meant to be a kind of, there's a little indentation here, a little place to throw things on a desk. So this sits on a desktop or a nightstand top. And you can throw things there. It opens up like so. You have a cord here, which actually plugs into this device. Power port here. That would plug in. And this is a charger. You just set the phone there. Charges wirelessly. So you can set your phone, set your keys, anything like that. So it works as a charger when you're traveling, which is pretty cool. These are removable. You can kind of configure this space any way you like. Comes with a bunch of these. And you can set it up however you want to divide your, whether it be cables and cords, or maybe, you know, toiletry stuff or whatever you like to keep in here. There are space for cards, although you probably have a wallet and we'll keep cards in here. A little elastic segment there. Very cool little device for organizing your travel stuff and being on the road. These are not found from Amazon, but from a company called Blvckout, Paris. These are Blackout playing cards and dice. These are metal dice, which is super cool. Very satisfying. These playing decks are plastic, which is kind of cool. Very durable. Feels a little more substantial than the usual cardboard. Cards are plastic, all blacked out. Very cool. I will say the only downside to this is telling between red and your black colors. So if you're used to doing it that way, it's hard to see what you're doing. You kind of have to go by the shapes alone. Nonetheless, they are really cool. Box closes with a magnetic little clutch. Last things I've got for you are two things that I've used at work to try to cut down on just waste in general. So we would have soda cans and whatnot at work, and with COVID and everything, we would have a designated place for drinks, and you'd pop your can, but then it would have, you know, it'd be open. It wouldn't be a closed water bottle. So to cover it, we end up using all these styrofoam cups placed over here to protect it, and then the cups would get thrown away. And I thought, you know, that's a whole lot of waste. At least for me personally, I don't want to waste a cup every time I pop a can, plus the can. So, enter. These come in multiple packs. You can get colored ones if you like, but they're called Beverage Buddee, 2 E's. So you'd pop your can. It has a good click on, it forms a good seal. I don't know that I would trust it upside down to hold your stuff in. The little lid here also has a pretty good click. Again, I don't know that it would keep it from falling out. But I have had it, you know, kind of gently tossed around, and it keeps anything from leaking around the edge, which is pretty cool. And it doesn't link up top. So this allows you to have a covered mouthpiece. You take your drink, and your drink is still covered. I've also found that it tends to preserve the carbonation in carbonation drinks. Probably not as great as if it was, you know, not popped at all. But I have put them back in the fridge, covered it, half a can, and found it, you know, a day later to be pretty good. Almost as good as, you know, when I first popped it. So these are super cool. Like I said, you can get them, these were a 4-pack of black, but you can get an assorted colored pack, get more if you'd like more. Really cool little deals. Along the same lines is this. I got tired of, we had disposable cutlery stuff at work, you know, just the plastic forks, knives, spoons. I thought, you know, I'm throwing a fork away every time. Yeah, I could wash it and put it with me, but then I'm, you know, carrying around a plastic fork. Why not get something more permanent? Enter Briost. Off Amazon, cool little plastic case. I've had other stuff like this before, mostly for camping. It's also what I use in the Airstream in the kitchen. So these are titanium, super light. You get a fork, spoon, knife, and a set of titanium chopsticks if you like chopsticks, which I do. I actually have another set of titanium chopsticks that I keep for home. So this allows me to have a little kit in my bag at work, and I am not wasting plastic forks, spoons, knives, when eating. I just pull this out now and I'm ready to go. Whether it be for, you know, stirring a cup of coffee or just eating a meal, this stays with me and it's always ready. Hope you found this stuff kind of cool items. Hope you consider buying some of them if it's something that you'd like and you'd use. You know, please stick with stuff that you would actually get use and enjoyment out of. That's kind of my theory about buying stuff. I tend to buy few things but quality things when I buy them. So these are some cool stuff that I found really useful, really helpful in everyday use. So I also plan to do a what's inside my bag everyday carry kind of thing soon for my bag that a lot of these items live in. It's this Patagonia sling bag. So I'll do that soon. I've got a few videos coming up down the line which are more adventure based, so stay tuned for those. They will be back. Next week's going to be pretty busy with a trip down south to pick up some of the southern national park sites. So that is coming up. Stay tuned. As always, this is CAIRN Traveler. My name is Ruben. I am a travel nurse living full-time in a 25-foot Airstream with my dog Hiker, and this is our adventures and helpful stuff along the way. Hope you find this helpful and entertaining, and we'll see you next time.